typically do when they're first diagnosed with celiac disease or gluten intolerance, that kind of sets them back a little bit. They're common mistakes and very easy to make, and one of them is that people don't think it's serious. Often this is due to the fact that they either don't have any symptoms, or the symptoms that they have, they kind of feel like they're just manageable and that they're not that big a deal. By going in and learning more about celiac disease, finding out as much as you can about it and understanding that it's a lifelong condition, and that by exposing yourself to gluten there are actually really serious consequences for your long-term health. It's really important to get your head around the fact that celiac disease, whether or not you have symptoms, and really whether, irrespective of how serious they seem, it's a serious condition and it needs to be looked at in a serious manner. I think that there are two main parts to staying truly gluten-free, and one of them is understanding ingredients, which of course is absolutely crucial. You have to know which ingredients you can and can't have. But the other part, which I think is just as important, is understanding cross-contamination. Cross-contamination is everything from your home and your fridge and your pantry setup to how you manage yourself when you're socialising and when you're in cafes and restaurants, and really food preparation and food handling. It's all encompassing. Getting a consultation to help you understand cross-contamination is probably one of the best steps you can take. Not getting support, it's really easy to think that you don't need support. A lot of people go gluten-free and think it's going to be easy, I just need to know how to read a label and I'll be fine. But in fact it's really multi-layered, and it took me personally a good few years to truly get my head around all of the different parts. And one of the reasons Be Gluten-Free even exists is because I learned so much and I researched so much in that time, and I know that I can help it be a much quicker and a much easier process for a lot of people. Getting support is absolutely essential, and it doesn't just have to be lifestyle support. It can be nutrition support. Your family might need counselling to help adjust with the different changes and the different pressures that some families can feel that it puts on their lives. You can get support to teach you how to go grocery shopping. So there are lots of different ways that you can get support. And even as far as technology goes, you can download apps for your phone that make grocery shopping easier, and that help you find gluten-free restaurants and cafes easier too. Here's a doozy. Lots of people just pick up their gluten lives, or put down their gluten lives, and go over here to their gluten-free life and keep eating exactly the same way. What a lot of people don't really recognise is that lots of the ingredients that are in gluten-free produce, and really, I'm looking at a lot of things like cakes and slices and biscuits and things, which heavily populate the gluten-free world. They're really high in fat, they're really high in sugar, and they're absolutely as far from a health food as you can get by and large. The reason that's a problem for a lot of people is that I think that they think that they're being really healthy by being gluten-free, and it's a great misconception. Over time you can end up doing more damage to yourself. So really consider the types of food that you're eating, and I personally recommend to people that if they're going through a transition and changing to gluten-free, it's the perfect opportunity to incorporate some really healthy lifestyle changes at the same time as you're changing anyway. Something that's really easy to do as a parent is to forget to teach your children the skills that they need when they're gluten-free. So as a parent, we learn as much as we can about gluten and gluten avoidance to make our lives easier, and of course to keep our children gluten safe. But by giving our children the tools that they need to stay gluten safe. It gives them a great sense of independence, and it also gives them a really good understanding, so they feel really confident and capable when they're out and about. My daughter's 7, she's been gluten-free for a year and a half now, and she just blows my mind because she goes off, and I have other parents say to me all the time, "Amy was amazing, she was asking me if the food was gluten-free." So she's really put the tools that we've practiced at home into place everywhere that she is. It's really become a big part of her life, and I'm really proud of her, and it makes me really confident, and it makes her really safe. Thinking that celiac disease is just about the gut is understandably a really easy mistake to make, and a lot of people make it because there's this great social understanding that symptoms in your gut, so your bloating and your gas, diarrhea, all of those sorts of things are your clues for gluten intolerance or celiac disease, like gluten disease we'll call it as an umbrella term. That's not the case. It encompasses all different parts of your body. So to think that it's just about your gut is a great mistake to make, actually. Looking on websites like Be Gluten Free's website, you can have a really good look down the list of the different symptoms and get a better understanding of what you could potentially be looking for if you think that you might have a problem with gluten.
What are you doing? Go online now at www.glutenfreezone.net.au and find out how to be gluten free.